Match 3 on the play. Please no more Stompy. Hand is good. A couple options here. I think we're going to lead on the Dismal, even though we have a turn 1 Preordain, because I want to be able to cast Chainers or Disfigure next turn. But this is a pretty ideal hand. We have some cantrips. We have plenty of mana in both of our colors, and we have a couple of removal spells. We don't really need to find our threats super early. All of them cost kind of a lot. So I like this hand. Playing at Scred Delver. We have a lot of spot removal. And it's not like Scred is super good against us because we have Gurmag Angler. I mean, it's good. They just have to get to 5 mana. Yeah, I'm unsure about how this matchup goes. Let's land Preordain. Slip Sandbar. Let's bottom the Sandbar, keep the Slip. Maybe I can hit an Unflip Delver with it. That'd be pretty sweet. Or Fairy. I guess I could have fired off the other Preordain, but I would like to answer my opponent's threat on their turn if I'm able to. But definitely a consideration to cast the other one. Well, now I'm gonna Edict. Oh, wait, they whiffed. Sweet. So now, yeah, I'm gonna Preordain Edict them. Probably a little bit punished because I could have played the Backwater this turn instead. But I don't think it's too bad. I do want the Echoing Decay. I don't want the Island. This turns off their Ninja Engine if they have Ninja in hand. Next turn, probably go ahead and run out the Backwater. Is there a way to actually make these cards bigger? Like on here, I have like how do I make these bigger and smaller? I thought there was like a little slider. Oh yeah, I just do this. Man, I think I actually had it pretty good. All right, whatever. That works. Yeah, maybe these. Whatever. just fooling around. All right, another Preordain from our opponent. We are tracking to cast Mulldrifters as soon as we start drawing them, though. Preordain and a Ponder. I do like that. That means that I don't have to worry about using my removal spells quite yet. I can still take some turns to build up. I am the control deck, obviously. So every time my opponent doesn't do anything, I am happy. There's Gurmag Angler. Can I sneak this Angler in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could totally just sneak this Angler in here right now, and I'm going to because my opponent plays so much counter magic. So actually taking a turn off from the Dismal. Yeah, I think this is good. It means I can't cast 2 removal spells in one turn, but it means that my Gurmag Angler is not going to get countered, and I think they're going to have a pretty hard time dealing with it, especially since they have not yet drawn a red source. There's a Delver and an Augur. Sure. This one's probably not going to whiff. Okay, they get a Scred, sure. I think we'll go ahead and we're definitely gonna attack. I think we'll go ahead and just kill the Delver though. There's an Alchemy. Yeah, I kind of like just killing the Delver now, so my opponent can't like spell set or removal spell. I mean, after I attack, obviously, will be when we do that. That does leave me a little bit okay. Well, if we're gonna block, then it's no contest. I was gonna say that does leave me a little open to them ninjutsuing in with a bouncing this back to this hand and ninjutsuing. I don't know if chumping there was it correct for them. But as is, we were able to clear their board again. We're gonna alchemy at the end of our turn, and we're going to just go from there. Feeling pretty good about the spot we're in. All right, well, they're building up to the scred. They can't scred me quite yet, so I do have a turn to find a counter spell. Can't scred me quite yet. Are they considering countering this? I mean, it's not like awesome to counter Forbidden Alchemy, right? Well, there's Counterspell, but there's also Mull Drifter and another Angler. And I think I like Mull Drifter a little bit better. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Mull Drifter. No, I want to take the Counterspell. This is actually tough. If they have a Counterspell, I would rather have cast the Mull Drifter, I think. Because then, I don't know. I would just rather playing the Mull Drifter. Because it draws me more cards. So I'm gonna get in one more hit off this Angler, probably the last hit, because if they have another land, they're just gonna scred it next turn. I mean, no guarantee they have another land even, right? They might not. Oh no, yeah, they have it now. If I were them, I would just scred now, right? Like I'm tapped out basically. Yeah. All right, we'll play a swamp. Go ahead and attack for 2. Leave up all of our removal, counter magic. Not counter magic. Removal and Forbidden Alchemy. Now we have 7. We can flash back the 1 in our yard. Got a grip full of removal. A little Fairy Miscreant, sure. Let's flash back the Alchemy in our yard. Being big mana efficient here. If they scare the Mull Drifter in response, then, I mean, there's not much I can do. I just sort of have to hope I can win the attrition game against their burn spells. Let's take... Interesting. I think now I want to take Counterspell. I don't reveal the card to them or anything. But if they want to scred me here, they should go ahead and do it now. Come on. Right, cool. All right, we draw Preordain. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm hoping to bait out a fairy to kill it and then kill this one. Preordain a second time. I do want both these cards. So let's top the Mole Drifter. Let's put the Decay first. I would like to be able to cast the Mole Drifter with a counterspell backup. And I think for now we'll just go ahead and pass. Because I'd like for them not to be able to attack me. What a game. Blue. For a gush on my instep. Wow. Okay. That's fine. Gushing on your opponent's instep, not normally the greatest move, but sure. So I know for sure they have an island in their hand. And they have to discard anyway. So yeah, gushing on your opponent's instep is not really the best thing to do. All right, well there's a bolt, so maybe it wasn't super terrible. But why did they bolt me in a why did they bolt me here? Why didn't they bolt me? I think I'm gonna say the Mole Drifter. Why didn't they bolt me and then try and attack? That seems much better. I might test the waters on this miscreant and try and kill it. No, I'm gonna attack first, probably. I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I do kind of want to kill it. I really want them to like tap out and flash in something, and then not be able to. And then I'll kill both of them, and then not be able to defend themselves. Yep, there's the old spell stutter. I guess this still counters it though, because they'll have one fairy up. I really just wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to get rid of that spell stutter. So yeah, this actually still will get countered. But now I've cleared the way for my Mole Drifter. Brainstorm, eh? Brainstorming on your opponent's turn is also an interesting move. Perfect. Actually, I don't want to get rid of them. Because I have cards in my deck that let me get back my creatures. So now we'll start getting in there. Ship the old turn. I mean, if my opponent has another Scred, then the Angler is in kind of a tough spot, but not much I can do. Let's cast an Algaea. Algaea Bolas. I want a counterspell. Pretty bad. I'll take an Agony Warp, though. And I feel pretty comfortable attacking with everything because I have so much removal. It doesn't matter if they try and ninjutsu me. That indicates to me that they do not have a scred, because otherwise they probably would have just scredded my angler. Yep. 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 All right, opponent packs it in. Sweet. Going to the next game. Definitely bringing in Stormbound guys. Definitely bringing in Nausea. Prohibit also seems fairly good. Taking out Chainers, I don't really like. I want all my instant speed removal is better, except for like the Nausea. Soul Manipulation, maybe not so great. Just because it costs kind of a lot. And then maybe one counterspell, because again, I think the prohibits are a little bit better in these low to the ground matchups. So we'll try this. I think this is fine. Consideration for taking out Doomblade, but it works. Yeah, let's try this out. Let's try this out. Let's try this out. On the draw, this hand is very good. I think. Especially, it's a little bit more reactive, especially because we're on the draw. But I can totally just turn one, slip this Delver. So I'm going to, because I mean, they might have kept in Daze, but they didn't have it there. So just having access to all this really cheap spot removal is very good. Augur is obviously a pretty big punishment if they have that, because I can't kill it, but I could kill the ninja once it comes down. But that's like so much value. So much value. Value town, as they call it. The kids call it these days. Missing a land drop off that ponder, pretty big though. Did they shuffle? I wonder. How do you see that? Oh yeah, you hit this. Seeing if they shuffled. They did shuffle. Okay. So let's exit out of this. Leave up Disfigure. Next turn, we can Forbidden Alchemy. Try and find some gas. We'll be playing the island next turn in case I get a counterspell. All right, opponent hits land drop. I turn late, but still hits it. And I've obviously it doesn't matter. I have no pressure to really put on them here. Plays a Preordain. Man, were they really thinking they would get there off that Delver? The reason I ponder that is that I'm a deck that's full of cheap removal. They saw a lot of it last game, so it seems very risky to keep a hand where the only thing you're doing is playing Delver and saying go. Even on the play, that seems a little risky to me. Also, this Preordain into Cycle Ash Baron's action. Sure. I'm being very critical today. We get a Preordain of our own, but I think... So upside to... What are the upsides of Preordain? Upside to Preordaining is that it's a sorcery, right? So I do it now. I could hit a Deemer Aqueduct to bounce something, or I could hit... I actually don't think I want to do that. I think I just want to go ahead and Forbidden Alchemy. Fuel my graveyard in case I draw an Angler. I don't really need anything with the Preordain quite yet. Maybe next turn I'll go ahead and do it. And this is more mana efficient anyway. If they... Well, the reason to Preordain, I guess, is actually... I'm actually going to go ahead and do it. And the reason I talk myself into it is if they draw something I want to kill, I want to be able to Disfigure. And if I Disfigure, I can't Forbidden Alchemy. So I might as well go ahead and Preordain. And in fact, we hit Augur Bolas. And I think I'm going to top one and bottom the other because they're kind of a nombo together. And now I want to go ahead and just play. So I'm actually glad I preordained because now I can just play Augur Bolus. And we'll give ourselves the Nausea. Because I think that's the most, out of the cards that we looked at, that's the one that's the most effective against them. Prohibit, also fairly good. But Nausea, I think, is just so much upside versus this deck. All right, now we have Counterspell, Forbidden Alchemy, and Disfigure up. So we'll attack for our measly 1 point of damage here. Hey, clock's a clock. 20-turn clock. Do 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 do. La da 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 da. Mm-hmm. Opponent thinking hard. What kind of creature do you think this is? I've often wondered what, like, is it? It's not a person, right? The ears are too pointy. Is it an elf? But elves aren't normally depicted as this bald in Magic. I mean, I think Llanowar elves are, but they have like that ponytail. I don't know. Card's kind of interesting to me. All right, opponent does stone nothing. Time to Forbidden Alchemy. It's very forbidden, you see, very verboten. Oh, geez. I don't think I want another Nausea. I think now I want the Prohibit. Gurmag Angler, probably the best draw. Opponent goes to counter. I will Prohibit. What are my opponent's 6 cards that they're just like not doing anything turn after turn after turn? Like my opponent hasn't really done anything this game. I actually think I prefer the other art. TBH. But sick promos, sick promos. I actually really do like this counterspell a lot. All right, another land. So now they could attempt to spread the Angler. All right, there's a Delver. Do I want to disfigure it? I think so. I don't think I really want to nausea that. I think I'm just going to go ahead and try and disfigure it. And if they have like a spell stutter, then I'll nausea next turn. Yeah, I think ideally they would play a spell stutter here, and I would open up for a nausea. Okay, well, think it's worth protecting the angler. My opponent does not know about the counter spell. I drew that off of something else. I think I just naturally drew that. So if they know about the prohibit, they can try and get the prohibit out of my hand. And now I'm not going to tap out for Forbidden Alchemy because they might have another Scred in there. That might have been just like a bait to get my one counter spell. 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually don't even have enough to flash it back because I think Alchemy is 7 on the second time. Yeah, so I don't even have enough mana to do so. 2 mountains. 2 mountains. Sure. Well, now I can flash it back, but I don't think I want to still. I think I just want to leave up counterspell. Sure. I'll counter that. And opponent scoops it up. Cool. I'll see everyone in the next match.